Shalom, shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of the body. Shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households. Okay, we are approaching the end. Lord willing, 2026 will be that year. We'll see how things unfold. You know, Esau, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, likes to show what they're going to do in their movies, which is revelation of the method, which is of them prophesying on the left-hand side what they will do in the future or the near future. And if you've been watching the movies very closely and your spiritual eyes are open, okay, you will be noticing that the fact that, movies going back to the 50s, even prior to that, up until now, they're showing you the timeline, what they propose to do and how they want the world to be. Okay. And we all understand the fact that, well, most of us do anyway, that the mark of the beast is the RFID CHIP or the charagma. Okay. The mark of the BEAST, Salakia, right? I know we know the prelude is the digital wallet prior to that. Okay. But also, if you've been watching movies like Chucky, I was never really a horror movie fanatic, but I've seen bits and bobs, your sort of lightly humorous so-called horror movie types, or, movies like Gremlins or Chucky, somewhat watch most of them. But like Chucky, if you look at it, these dolls that are being pushed heavily in the market. Now, Esau likes to, dive into witchcraft. Everything that's good in this world is evil is evil in the righteous world. Everything that's evil to Esau is righteousness. I mean, basically, Esau calls good evil and evil good. Okay, you're supposed to put a witch to to death. Let's just say okay, all right. Thou shalt not let a witch live. Paraphrasing a scripture there. Okay, and Esau, promotes witchcraft, promotes reading of palms, promotes psychics and crystal balls and things of that nature. Okay, and these dolls that they push so heavily, right, that they're really spending a whole bunch of money in commercials and using cute children and trying to sort of say, oh, your child won't be lonely, they'll have a friend to talk to if they're an only child. They're being bullied, they'll have somebody to talk to. They'll be like their best buddy. Like the movie Ted. That's basically Satan embodied in that teddy bear. They're showing it in a comedic effect, of course, but that's Satanism. That's the demon inside. There's a spirit inside these dolls. Sometimes they do that. The movie Chucky shows it. All right. Now, if you also go to the movie called AI, it's on Prime at the moment. Now, it shows you that in the future, parents that can't have children, or if they've lost a child, or in this movie, in this case, it was a child, it was a couple that in the future, of course, where Esau's got dominion over the planet, which is not going to happen, of course. But obviously, they like to show it. They like to show the movies like Elysium and AI to show how they want the world to be. Obviously, they want to make it more gruesome than that. They show you in the future that a couple whose child is in a coma, they miss their child. So what they do is they have one made for them, right? As artificial intelligence. Obviously, this child can't sleep, it can't eat, it can't grow, but it thinks it's a human, all right? And this is where the world we're coming into, all right? Human contact is taken away, all right? But speaking with dolls and artificial intelligence and speaking to humans on the other end through a computer, but not able to face them. For example, if a man likes a woman, he's not man enough like we did it back in the 90s. You actually stepped up to a woman, whether she was standing at a bus stop or you're driving by, you saw her at a bus stop and you found a place to park up, because in them days you could park anywhere. You can't fucking park anywhere right now, right? You could pull up and park up and walk up to her and talk to her politely and respectfully, so you can get them digits. It wasn't no Facebook or Snapchat in those days. There was direct contact with a phone number, right? And these young lads can't even do that, but they can speak through a computer screen. That's why the world is a very drab, dry, soulless place. Like in that movie they were pushing with Sylvester Stallone. What was it called? Demolition Man. People in the future didn't even have physical sex no more. Weren't actually exchanging bodily fluids between male and female. That wasn't going down. All right? And this is the kind of vibration they're trying to push as well. Okay? Now, let's go to scripture next. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Okay? You know, that's when the heathen was brought down, but, you know, how come they were cut down the ground, cut to the ground that weakened the nations? All right? And that's what people are going to say when we see this cracker fall down. All right? But then these crackers did, at a point in time, did come back up again, when they came out of the caves. All right. And verse 13 alludes to the point where when they did come back into power again. All right. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, Yahweh. I will sit upon, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Okay, this is when they're talking about, being like the Most High and, sending the rocket to the moon and seeing the size of the north. That's North America, right? They want to be like the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yashai. That's why they've got, their angels on the left-hand side, which is artificial intelligence and video cameras and CCTV and drones and shit. And on the right-hand side, Yahweh Bashem Yashai has his angels recording everything. All right? Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Okay? I will be like the Most High. Let's get that in NLT actually as well. Let me get the NLT, see what that says. All right. Isaiah 14 and 12. How are you fallen from heaven, O shining star, son of the morning? You have been thrown down to the earth. You who destroy the nations of the world. All right. For you said to yourself, I will ascend to heaven and set my throne above God's stars. I will preside on the mountain of the gods, far away in the north. I will climb to the highest heavens and be like the Most High. Esau wants to be like the Most High. Okay? Certain precepts allude to the future, certain precepts allude, or certain verses allude to the past. This is a very spiritual thing you have to decipher. And I'm not in any shape or form an expert, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai, I understand the basics. Okay? I understand the basics. All right? And Esau wants to be like the Most High. That's why they're trying to even replace every aspect of life. Human communication. All right? They're taking that away. They even had songs like back in the day, Computer Love. Computer Love. If you remember that song from back in the 91 to 93, I believe that came out in. Right? They're talking about computer love. Online dating, even damn near over 30, close to 35 years ago. Right? Men not dealing with women no more, just relieving themselves by watching porn. Right? Artificial tools and this, now, and this, now, and the third. Women with their pocket rockets and men with their whatever they utilize to compensate for a vajayjay of a woman. All these weird things that are happening in this world. All right? Esau is replacing the Most High's ways of a man with multiple women. He's saying that, you only can be with one woman, but a man can marry a man, and a woman can marry a woman, and a man can marry a dog or a cat, and a woman can marry a horse. They're going to do everything abnormal. The things that you can eat, right? Esau says it's bad for you, but the things that you can't eat, like pig and lobster, crab, and all that, conch, whatever you call that, you could eat. People eat catfish and all that. So everything's upside down in this world. All right. Okay, from the very thing that creates life between man and woman, you penetrating woman and then releasing your seed in her. Now that's become a danger. So everything Esau, the so-called white man, is anti-life, and that's why, you know, they're like a damn devil, man. You got to be very careful around these damn devils. All right, because to a lot of people, they're like they're like lifesavers to a lot of people. Because when this CHIP comes out, it's going to be like a sign from from heaven for them. You know, and these certain tools and these robots or robotoid dogs or whatever, whether how real it is, but the fact of the matter is they're pushing that energy out there in that direction. Okay, okay, towards you know a lifeless, soulless world. And so, for a lot of people that are only children by themselves growing up, that are bullied, a lot of these dogs, these artificial intelligence type dolls and dogs and human-looking dolls or whatever, right, have demonic spirits entered into them. They probably have a witch in every factory, casting some kind of spell or chucking some kind of demonic fluid on these dolls, and embedding them, or having demons put in them. All right. So a lot of people are going to see this as a godsend for them, friends for their children, these AI type dolls and animals and things, people that are lonely, that have lost an animal, it'll be like a sort of fun for them because you don't have to feed it or whatever, they can save a few quid as well, and it's meant to be somewhat affordable as well. All right. 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. All right. For some people can't differentiate between righteousness, and evil. They just think that everything's hunky-dory. This is just a good thing. Oh, it's just another advancement in technology. It's a good thing. Hello. It's a beautiful thing, just advancement in technology. But the elect are not going to fall into that trap. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right. So a lot of you are going to be fooled with this bullshit. All right. But for you Jakes out there, I would suggest don't buy this for your children. Okay. If you're going to make any kinds of dolls, if you've got a grandmother's, mothers, or sisters that can put a doll together, they can knit something, that's better. But otherwise, be very wary, especially dolls and artificial intelligence type ones. Just go with the spirit and pray on it and ask the Lord to, because at the end of the day, sometimes we do have to buy, toys and things for our children. But I would say keep it simple. But the rest is on you. The rest is on you. And Lord willing, man. The elect are going to be protected. But um, if the Lord is going to send these demonic vibrations to certain people, it's going to go to them, especially the heathen and the two-thirds. Pursuant to Isaiah 45 verse 7, because the Lord controls the right hand side and the left hand side. The Lord controls good and evil. Let's go to the video. I've got a couple of videos of this dog called Woofy or Woof or whatever it's called, right? All right. Why kids and parents everywhere are falling in love with Woofy, the number one rated robot puppy. Now, some people say some BS. I don't know. Okay. The story is from the 21st of November, so about 9 to 10 days ago. And I've seen a couple of commercials on YouTube as well, like on them YouTube shorts. And it looked pretty damn, impressive. And it looks like a little dog moving around, cute, little, it does look cute if you look at it, it's just a little dog, right? And let's see. Now imagine a toy that feels alive, okay? One that walks, barks, and wags its tail in joy when your child pets it. One that makes them laugh, nurture, and care. No screens required. That's Woofy, the AI-powered robot puppy that's melting hearts worldwide. Okay? They're already cloning dogs, I believe, and I'm sure that's going to be on a large scale very soon. All right? Number one puppy for interactive play. All right? Acts like a real pup. Sits, barks, wags tail, walks. Okay? Uh, from the first bark to the last cuddle, Woofy turns ordinary playtime into real connection. It's not just a joy, it's your child's new best friend. And they've got that highlighted in bold. New best friend. Yeah, there's probably a demon in that MFR, right? Now we've seen these types of things before over the years, since be it what was the one when I was a child? Cabbage Patch Dolls. I can't remember. They used to have cards and the real thing, right? All types of dolls like that. Now we've had robot ones, radio controlled ones, and stuff like that, where you got the remote control. And this is AI powered, so this is going to get even more advanced. And they've got shit out there that's advanced, but they're only going to give it to you in increments. They're going to give you the sort of like a lower level types. It's like the army. They give you old army technology. Like for example, mobile phones was old army technology, which they just basically started selling. And the technology wise, ESOL is very advanced. Okay, they're very advanced. They're way ahead. They only let you know certain things which only your psyche can take. If they show you the things that they have, your mind will probably be blown out of the water. And that's for your regular folk. But for the hopeful elect, we know what time it is with Esau, man. We know they got those kinds of tools. Hence the reason why the elect are going to get spiritual power to fight these damn devils, and their cyborgs and their super soldiers and all the other things that will be coming the elect's way. All right, because it does more than entertain. It helps kids grow, connect, and smile again. Keeps kids off screens naturally. All right, makes playtime irresistible. Um, Teaches kindness and empathy. Builds confidence, creativity. Brings families closer. A gift that keeps giving. Insert the batteries. Turn Woofy on. Flip the switch and hear a joyful bark as your new best friend wakes up. I mean, the way they show the commercials are realistic. I don't think that. All right, let's see if I can find some movement, because I saw a really good one on YouTube.
This robot puppy thinking it would last a week. That was 6 months ago, and my grandkids still carry it everywhere.
This is the AI-powered robot puppy that my kids wish they had discovered sooner. With this robotic puppy, you can give your children all the joy and companionship of a real puppy without any of the mess or expensive bills. But why settle for lifeless plastic toys that just sit there when you could have a puppy that walks, barks, and plays like the real thing? Introducing Woofy, available in brown or white, the revolutionary handmade AI companion that brings authentic puppy love into your home in 5 incredible ways. Number 1, AI-powered realistic behavior. This isn't just a toy that makes sounds. Woofy sits, runs, and wags his tail with lifelike movements that will fool anyone. My kids genuinely believe he's alive. Number 2, 100% handmade premium quality. Every Woofy is lovingly handcrafted from artificial leather with hand-sculpted nose, claws, legs, and eyes. This isn't some cheap plastic toy. It's a work of art that's built to last. Number 3, intelligent touch response. Pet Woofy's head or take him for a walk and watch him react with pure happiness. The AI technology makes every interaction feel genuine and heartwarming. Number 4, mess-free pet experience. All the love, friendship, and joy of a real puppy with zero cleanup, no feeding schedules, no vet bills, and no worries. Just pure fun and
All the fun without the responsibility, right, of actually having a real pet to look after. You know, I'm sure they're going to start doing realistic babies very soon as well. AI babies. Some mothers, that want to practice before they actually have a real child. There's going to be all sorts of weird things coming out like that.
companion. At 7.9 inches tall, Woofy is the ideal size for children to handle and care for. He encourages nurturing and helps kids learn empathy through interactive companionship. Now, here's the deal. Only viewers of this video will receive an exclusive 50% discount on Woofy today. Click the link below to secure your discount. But don't just take my word for it. Hundreds of families have fallen in love with their Woofy.
My daughter carries Woofy everywhere. He responds to her touch and follows her around the house. It's like having a real puppy that never makes a mess. Best purchase ever.
We understand that buying a premium toy online might seem risky, which is why we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on every Woofy. If you're not completely satisfied, return him for a full refund. No questions asked. This 50% off deal is only available for a limited time, so don't wait. Secure your Woofy now and give your family the perfect puppy companion.
All right, so This is it. It might be a light thing for some people, but you got to look into in a deeper nature. This is getting more and more weirder. Okay, way more weirder. Having the odd little robot dog back in the day, was okay, or even having just a stuffed teddy bear or a stuffed dog. But AI involved in it now, realistic behavior. You know, and how many times has Esau made movies of these AI type helpers or maids or servants they have in their house, or some kind of replacement because their wife is ill, and then they get themselves one of these AI females or whatever, or so-called females, AI powered, and the thing turns on the whole family and starts getting, having feelings of jealousy against when the real woman returns back in the picture. I'm just going over a couple of movies or shows that I've seen, in this, because Esau's pumping them out on Netflix and Prime, and all the spirits that they're pumping into this. I mean, movies like Chucky let you know that they do that shit. Demonic spirits are put into these dolls. Okay, into these dolls, these stuffed animals, whatever you want to call them. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. See, more weirdness, more soulless living being pushed. All right, Shalom.